Am I overreacting about this? Yes. Am I going to panic anyway? Absolutely. You don't understand. They can't do this to me. It doesn't make sense. Why would they cancel out the option? Okay, Apple is discontinuing the space gray Mac accessories, and I'm mad. I'm angry. Let's begin. You can't do this to me, Apple. You know how much I'd sacrifice? Okay, so these things are wonderful. I love the space gray Magic Keyboard that came with my iMac Pro. I love the space gray Magic Mouse that Apple's been selling for nearly 4 years now, and it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, it cost a little bit more in the Apple Store, and the Magic Trackpad itself looks amazing as well. But now they've started adding the subtext, while supplies last. Even in the overview section, it says, now in a space gray finish. They're saying now in a space gray finish, even though it's almost out of stock. Apple, like, why are you saying now in a space gray if you're just taking it away? Okay, I'm all for options, right? Like, if you guys are bored of the same old tech and you want it to be more colorful now with the iMac design, fine. I'm willing to accept that. I'm willing for you guys to be happy. You like your white bezels, you like your chins that come in pink and orange and green. I don't get it. It's not for me, but you can have it. I'm fine with that. What I'm not in favor of is Apple taking away options that used to be there. You know, if you want to add color to the lineup, go ahead and add color, but it shouldn't be at the expense of removing what so many of us have loved so dearly for so long. I was totally fine with more colors coming to the Magic Mouse line, the Magic Keyboard line. I was mostly a little confused why they're still rocking Lightning. I wish they just switched to Type-C or at least Qi charging or MagSafe or I don't know, something different than Lightning on our Mac accessories, especially when the Mac is going all in on USB-C so much these days. But I would have been so much more fine with the iMac design if they at least had one option. I'm not saying the entire lineup, but one option with black bezels in a space gray body, because that's what a lot of us have preferred for so many years. And now seeing them discontinue the iMac accessories that come in space gray, this is not a good sign for me. I don't like it. And you know why? It's because before this 24-inch iMac was launched, they didn't discontinue the 4K iMac. It was right there available to order right before the event took place. But now with the iMac Pro, that's discontinued and gone. Like, it's no longer available. And now they're doing the same thing with the space gray accessories. And most of the time when Apple does the while supplies last thing, it's because it's not coming back. I know some of you are probably just thinking, you know, they're trying to sell out of this keyboard accessory because they're going to replace the space gray keyboard with a Touch ID keyboard. But again, Apple is choosing not to sell those separately yet, so I'm not sure why they would start discontinuing just the space gray keyboard and not the silver one, because you can still buy that separately if you want to. And it also points to the idea that space gray iMacs are not right around the corner, because if they were, there would really be no reason to discontinue a space gray Magic Mouse or a space gray trackpad. We know from the 24-inch iMac launch that they're comfortable bringing Touch ID to the keyboard, but it's not coming to the mouse or trackpad. That's not a thing. So if they're taking those off the site and Apple wants to color match all of their keyboard and mice to the iMacs, that once again points to the idea that a space gray iMac might just not be happening, or black bezeled Macs might not be happening. I'm just trying to imagine a silver keyboard with a white Mac with white bezels, and I side with Mac's tech on this one. Throughout history, iMacs have never looked drastically different between different screen sizes, so for that reason, I see no explanation as to why exactly the 30-inch or 32-inch iMac would look drastically different from the 24-inch iMac. It might be a little bit bigger, the chin might appear slightly thinner because it's just a larger device as a whole, and they might slap an M1X chip in there, but it's the design that I'm not in love with, and it appears a lot of my fan base is not in love with either. And again, this all comes back to options. You know, if you just have one tier at checkout that says, hey, give me the black bezel space gray option, I think we can all move about our day. We can all be fine with this, right? Like, even the iPhone 12 and the iPad Air, which are both like non-pro iPhones, they're meant to be the more affordable mid-range option. iPad Air has a space gray option. iPhone 12 has the black option, right? It's all fine to have your colors and your white option and your black option, but when they just straight up go to war against black bezels and having a space gray Mac, like, this is what starts to tick me off. Apple, when you unveiled the iMac Pro, it was so cool. I was freaking out. I remember falling out of my chair. Space gray, matte black? What? Yes! Magic Mouse in black! Yes!
gorgeous 5K display. This is without a doubt the most beautiful iMac we've ever made.
Take it!
But it's all
I couldn't believe how cool you had made such a dated and older design, and everyone for so long was asking for just a thinner bezeled iPad Pro looking Mac, something like the Pro display, except not insanely expensive. And we were really hoping that you could bring that to the more entry-level models, something that's not, you know, $5,000. Now with Apple Silicon on the inside, that all sounded so incredible, but now that space gray accessories are going away, it just feels less and less likely. And I'm also not that big a fan of the Mac Pro mouse and keyboard that have black on the top but silver aluminum. I will admit that's a little bit better than the white keys, but still, this was the favorite color palette of mine, and seeing it being taken away and saying while supplies last, as in once this sells out, it's not going to be available anymore. They wouldn't do that if they were planning on bringing them back later anyway, and this bums me out. I hope that at best we get, you know, more space gray accessories in the future that have USB-C or have MagSafe or wireless charging of some kind. That's like the best case scenario here, but the future of iMacs right now is getting more and more depressing the more I think about it, and it's mainly because I don't like the 24-inch design. I'm sure you guys know that, but also I don't see the larger size iMac being tremendously different from this one. I think it's still going to be prioritizing the thinness. It's still going to have a chin, and at this point, if they're getting rid of the space gray accessories, why would they keep the black bezels? You know, I've never seen Apple have different colored bezels depending on which size of a product you got, and because of that, I have a feeling we're going to get more white bezels later in the year, and oh, this is just sad to watch. I guess I might be in the market for a Mac Pro maybe next year, or a Mac Mini with an M1X chip. I'd be very interested in that, or maybe the 16-inch Mac Pro. I don't know. It's just depressing me all around, but tell me I'm wrong. I would love to hear all this. I would love to not panic, but I honestly don't see this as good news in any way that they're discontinuing my favorite accessories, and that's probably because the new lineup isn't gonna need them anymore. This is your Apple Sheep here. I'll see you in the next one.